Not long to go now then until the Champions League final kicks off between Liverpool and Spurs. Manchester United fans will be looking on enviously as the two teams go head-to-head in Madrid. And a lot of speculation about some of their big players and where they're going to be next season. Let's talk about Romelu Lukaku starting off, because a lot of rumours suggesting that Antonio Conte taking the job at Inter, and part of that was that he wanted Lukaku to go with him as well.
Yeah, we remember when Lukaku signed for United, Conte thought he had him at Chelsea, and it was very close to getting it done. He really rates Lukaku as a player, and Lukaku hasn't had a great season at United. I think he's made it clear that he'd be interested to play in Italy in the future, and the fact that Solskjaer was playing him on the right wing at times tells you that he doesn't really see him as a centre forward. So I think Lukaku is a player that United would sell if they got the right offer. They paid almost £90 million for him,
I know,
which is a lot of money for a guy that I can't see him getting that back from. But Inter, they've got some money, they've got Chinese backers who are very ambitious, which is why Conte has gone there. So I can see Lukaku being interested by Inter. I just think United would hold out for a big fee, and that might be the deal breaker.
What did go wrong for Lukaku? What was the key to the fact? He started off well, didn't he? Came in, obviously a lot of money spent, but as you say, he hasn't been a starter for the good second half of the season.
I think the reality is I just don't think he's a top elite striker. I think, and the game's changed as well. A lot of the big clubs now don't play with the centre forward, they play with three up front, and Lukaku for me he's not mobile enough. He's very, very left footed, so when he's on his right he's not great. He's not a great header of the ball, and I think when you play for a big club like Man United, your weaknesses are kind of exposed, and I think over time it's been shown that he's not as good as he thought he was. He's not a Harry Kane, he's not Robert Lewandowski, he's not Ronaldo, but I think in Italy he'd have more joy. I think he'd be a great signing for Inter, and I think for United it'd be good business to get rid.
Meanwhile, we're of course in Madrid. Will Paul Pogba be here at the start next season?
I think he'd like to be. Again, that's a deal that I see could happen because United know they need to change the squad, and Pogba had a great season if you look at his stats last year.
Right.
Goals, assists, all this kind of thing, but when you watch him play week in, week out, there are times when you think, this guy is not, he's almost too good for Man United right now. He's a player that needs to be around elite players, and he hasn't got that at United, and he's a luxury they can't afford. So it's a big gamble because United see Pogba as being very, very important commercially. You got a Shanghai, you got a Bangkok, and Paul Pogba forces on the that shouldn't be the reason for it, but commercially he's a huge asset to Man United. So will they let him go? I think that if the offer is right, if Real offer something like 120, 140 million pounds, I think United could do a deal.
What sort of relationship does he have with Solskjaer?
He has a good relationship because Pogba came to the reserve team with Solskjaer when he was a young player, and they have a good relationship. But I think Solskjaer's looked at it and realised that you have to build a team around Paul Pogba, and at United at this stage, probably 2 seasons away from having the players to do that. So it might be the most sensible thing, like Liverpool did with Felipe Coutinho, to cash in your biggest asset and strengthen elsewhere. Look what Liverpool did. They signed Alisson, they signed Virgil van Dijk, and they're a better team now with the money they got from Coutinho. So if United are wise and they do it properly, then selling Pogba could be the way to get them where they want to be quicker.
David De Gea, just remind us of his contract situation.
Well, De Gea's contract at United expires in 12 months' time, and he's not looking to renew it. United feel that they've offered him as much as they're going to offer him. He wants a lot more than they're prepared to offer. And what doesn't help De Gea is the way the season ended for him. He had a really bad end to the season. So, United's view is that, well, you're not playing well enough to earn the money you want to earn. So his problem is that Real have got Thibaut Courtois, PSG, they've got Areola coming through, they really rate, and Juventus apparently are very keen, but they can't offer what he's offered at United. So De Gea's got a problem as well because, where does he go? He can't go to Barcelona, they've got to Stegen, so he might be stuck at United.
And the problem is, of course, that Alexis Sanchez and that big money that he's on, obviously players look at that and they want to earn the same. What are they going to do with him?
Well, that's the question. I think United hope is a great Copa America and, scores a hat-trick in the final and suddenly becomes the most valuable player in the world. But I think with Sanchez, maybe he's the one player they have to persevere with because one, he's on so much money, it's going to be so hard to get rid of. He's only 30. He's a player that's got
is he only 30?
incredible.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
He's got a lot of miles on the clock, as they say. But I still think if Lukaku goes, then Sanchez, Rashford, maybe Martial if he stays. They can't afford to let too many others go. So maybe Sanchez is a player that they persevere with and hope that he comes good eventually.
Finally, a player that may be going, but looks like he won't. De Ligt. Any chance for United fans here?
I don't think so. I think the word from inside United is that, yes, he's a player that they'd really like, but they feel that Barcelona had the deal done 2 months ago and that all this noise around him right now is basically agents trying to get more money in terms of salary, more commission, what have you. Barca have got the deal done.
Right.
He'll go to Barcelona. I mean, why wouldn't he go to Barcelona? Man United in the Europa League, Barcelona in the Champions League, weather like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Play with Lionel Messi.
Yeah. It's United's problem, though, isn't it?
It's a big problem, and it's going to take a long time to turn it around. But even if Man City came in for De Ligt, it's still a hard sell to say, Barcelona in for you. You could play at Barca for 10, 15 years, win everything, play in a beautiful city, play with Lionel Messi. How do you say no to that?
Mark Ogden, thank you very much. Of course, a lot more from Mark throughout the summer when it comes to the latest transfer breaking news. But for now, just a reminder, keep it here for the rest of the weekend as we continue to bring you everything you need to know about the Champions League final.